One, two, three, start.
Hello. Yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome back again to our channel Coders Arcade. This is Saurabh and we are again live with the new Java DSA video. Okay. So there is a very good news for all our viewers, and I'm sorry, actually there was some technical issue with our setting, so we were not able to come live properly just a moment back. Now everything is fine and I hope everything will work fine. And so what I was saying is, we are going to start with our Java DSA or data structures and algorithms live sessions from today. Okay, as we have got lots of updates from our viewers, therefore we have planned to bring daily live Java DSA sessions. Okay, and today will be the first Java live session on data structures and algorithms. Today will be an introductory class, but today's class is also very important. The live session today will be also very important because we will be understanding about what are the key concepts that we are going to study, and also at the same time we will be learning about some basic concepts that we need to kickstart our DSA journey, the learning of DSA in Java. Okay, our particular approach will be to learn data structures and algorithms in Java. Fine, and just making sure that we are audible, everything is fine. Okay, I'm just waiting for a confirmation from anyone who is watching live. So that I can get a simple confirmation as to whether we are live or not. Fine, and let me do one thing. Let me also open the same page in my mobile so that I can also see that how many comments are being passed and how you guys are checking that. Okay, yeah, fine. I have that in my screen, big screen, so I can see that. Fine. So guys, as I said, we have got a lot of responses from our audience regarding they wanted us to bring live Java DSA classes. Okay, and I will tell you one thing, in our Saturday live classes, Saturday live sessions, we have already covered some concepts of Java. We have covered Java basics, plus we have covered conditional statements, plus we have covered the looping statements, then we have covered methods, then we have covered the oops concepts also, then we have also covered exceptions in the last live class. Fine, here I can see that, yeah, audible, and fine, yes, audible. So everything is fine. And so what I was saying is, guys, we have already covered around 20 live sessions on Java where I have already taught you guys Java basics, then we have learned conditionals and loops, then we have learned methods in Java. Methods are nothing but functions only. Okay guys, they are functions only, but because Java is an object oriented language, therefore we call them methods. We have discussed all these things in our Java basic playlist where we are covering all these concepts. Then dedicatedly we have covered the oops concepts, we have covered the 4 pillars and some more important topics like aggregation, association, composition and so on. Fine. And in the last live session, which was not on Saturday, I guess it was on Thursday or Friday, it might be Thursday, last Thursday, there we had covered exception handling and exceptions. Okay, so this is a very important thing that I am going to tell now. When you are going to start with data structures and algorithms in any language, these things are the prerequisites that you will need before even you start learning about data structures and algorithms. Okay, so these are, whatever you see here, these are actually the prerequisites. Okay, to get started with data structures and algorithms. Fine. So, from today, that is Monday, and our plan should be something like this. I am telling you a brief idea of what we are going to do here, okay? My plan is to take up classes Monday to Friday, where we will be covering almost all the concepts of data structures and algorithms. And what about the Saturday live classes? We already had the Saturday live classes, right? There, if anything is left out in core Java, the basic Java and the core Java, that will be covered. Extra concepts will be covered in the Saturday live classes. Fine. This Monday to Friday weekday classes will be dedicatedly focused on DSA, learning data structures and algos. Fine. So that is my agenda. Now today's class will be actually an introductory class where we will be understanding why we need DSA, data structures and algorithms. Fine. I am just giving you an idea of what are the things that you need to know to start with DSA. What is a good roadmap for DSA? Fine. Then these are the 4 questions that actually are going on, circulating in everyone's mind when you guys are actually starting with DSA. What are data structures and algorithms? That gradually when you start learning we will get to know. Why do you need DSA? What is a good roadmap for DSA? What or which language to choose for learning DSA? Then what are the best resources, and these are the most important questions that you should cater to while you are starting your journey in DSA. Fine. So make sure you understand them. Okay. Let me just check if I have any comment, and then we'll get started with today's session in a proper way. Fine. Okay, right now I have no comments. So guys, what are data structures and algorithms? The first question. And one more thing, guys, I want anyone who is watching this live video or maybe a recorded video which will be uploaded after the class or the live session is over, I want every single one of you who is actually coming for the first time to our channel to please subscribe to our channel and motivate us to bring better content to you. Okay, and at the same time make sure that you are telling your friends about the same, because this DSA training or live sessions that you will have will be from scratch, and if anyone is new to learning any programming language also, they will also not feel difficult to understand the concepts. I will try to make all the concepts very simple and easy to understand, so that when you are writing the code, you first understand the logic, build the code in your mind, then you understand the algo, then you write the code. That is what my approach will be, and I promise you I will teach you to write code in such a simple manner that any difficult code or complex code will be easy, and it will be just simple bread and butter for you to write the code after that. But trust me on this, you have to dedicate your time, otherwise you will not be able to learn anything. Fine, that is what my approach is. Okay, it will be the motto for today's session, and going on in all the sessions we will have the same motto only. We will try to understand the logic, we will try to understand the theory, then we will write some code to get better understanding and grip of the concept. That will be my roadmap. Okay, fine. So, what are data structures and algorithms? To be simply put, what are data structures and algorithms? I can say like this. Say, imagine I am giving you something like this: 1, 2, A, I have D, then I have true, then I have false, then I have say Saurabh, then I have say C, then I have say 32, then I have say 25.9. We have a large pool of data where the data is of any particular type. So, do you think this data is arranged in a proper manner? No, right? It is not arranged in a particular manner. So, data structures and algorithms is that field of engineering where we learn how to, please remember, how to organize the data, how to obviously filter the data, and how to, you can use so many words here, segregate the data, or how to actually store the data in a very efficient way, so that whenever you need that data, you can utilize it in a very less time. That is our target always. Data structures and algorithms are that part in engineering, or to be frank, computer engineering, where we see here I have 1, I have 32. These are integers. It should be put in a block where we have only integers. Correct? Similarly, I have true, I have false. They are Boolean data type. So, I will be putting them like this: false, comma, true, in a separate block. So, what am I actually doing? I am arranging the clutter or the garbage, or this is really garbage. It is not a proper format of storing something. I am storing them into containers where I have deliberately said that this is the integers format, this is the Boolean format, and something like that. So, it is that field of engineering which allows you to store, manage, maintain data, or maybe retrieve data in such a way that life becomes very easy for the engineers to write code, to simplify the code, to save time, to make code writing very efficient. That is what, simply put, data structures and algos is. Okay? And why do you need DSA? Now, obviously, from the first one only you can get that, right? DSA or data structures and algorithms is needed to organize your data in such a way that everything is solved in very less amount of time, because time is a most important factor while you are building an application in real time, because if your application takes more time, the client or maybe the end user who is using your application will not be there in your application for much amount of time, because they will not be satisfied. Ultimately, at the end, what is important? CSAT, the customer satisfaction. This is a very important factor. If the client or the customer is not satisfied with the application, they will move on to some other app. This thing has happened to lots of applications. You can talk about Paytm, you can talk about Google Pay, you can talk about PhonePe and so and so. Okay. If you don't manage the data efficiently, it will end up in losing clients, or you will end up in losing what? Very important thing, business. The IT companies will lose business. That's why we should know how to store, organize, filter or segregate the data in a proper and efficient manner. Okay, that is why we need DSA or data structures and algorithm. Now let's talk about the roadmap. Fine, the first one is done, the second one is also done. Let's talk about the third one. What is a good roadmap for DSA? Fine. So as I told, any language you take, guys, any language that you are taking to learn DSA, most of the times the language that we choose are something like this. We take C, then we take C++, then we take Java, then last we take Python. Fine. So you can learn DSA in any one of these languages, but some cases you will have to encounter with questions in the placement drives or the recruitment drives where you have to use the object oriented programming concepts. So the best is either one of this. You can take either C++ to learn that, or else you can take Java to learn that, because both are OOPs or object oriented languages. Fine. Also, some people will debate with me that, some people will tell me that, sir, Python is also a object oriented language where it supports classes, objects, everything. Why not Python? I will tell you, around 80 to 90% of the companies that come for drives, okay, these don't allow Python as a language to learn DSA, because Python language is very simplified. The code that you write, what you can achieve in C++, C or Java in 100 lines can be achieved in Python in only 20 lines or maybe less. So what happens actually in the back end, what is actually going on in the code is very difficult to understand. Python makes the code so simple that the inner logic is very difficult to understand actually what is happening in the back end of the code, how a very big logic is written in such a simple way. So that's why when you are starting as a fresher, at that time it becomes really difficult to understand, or for the interviewers, they want you to know everything. I will tell you this word, they want you to know the implementation. They want you to know the implementation of the code from scratch, be it 100 lines, be it 1000 lines, be it 2000 lines, it does not matter. But when you actually are able to write good code, it tells that you are a good developer. Fine, that is what the interviewers right now are looking at. Earlier it was like this, everybody who was hired by the companies, they had on-job training, OJT, where the companies were teaching them, the companies were putting them for an internship period, after that they were putting them for a back-end role, after that they were deploying them to the project. This was how it was happening in the earlier days. I am talking about my days also. But nowadays what is happening is, everything is becoming something like this, ready to use. Got it? The current state of a developer who is hired as a developer, or maybe say the SDE, software development engineer, software development executive or software development trainee, the roles that the companies are hiring for now, they want all of you to be ready to use. That means they want you to be directly deployed to a particular project. That's why they want you to know writing code from scratch. The implementation, the in and out, the logical building, how the language is made, everything should be known by you from scratch. That is how the competition is right now. Okay, therefore, the best way to analyze the logic building of a student is by checking how good or efficient is the student or the candidate in DSA or data structures or algorithms. That is why this criteria is like this. And trust me or not, when you are actually into the industry, this thing will not occur to you so much. But right now, to get into any company, DSA is a must. That's why we have planned that we'll come up with a very good live playlist on DSA, where every single day we'll be learning a new concept and we'll be writing some code to understand more and more and to reach a level where we can solve some interview questions. And I hope by the end of this live sessions in Java, you should be able to crack at least 1 or 2 placement drives. That is my target, okay? And I want all of your support in this, in this approach or in this journey, so that we can learn together and you can build something good together. Okay, that is my target. Okay, hope you guys are also with me and you will be coming live every day. And guys, the timing will not be fixed because I have to go to college for placement trainings in the morning. So I'll be coming back to office around 6. So tentatively it will be around between 6 to 8 every evening. I'll be coming live. Okay, it depends on what time I reach back office. Fine. So that is my target. And as I was saying, which language is better to learn DSA? The point is, you will be having to use some OOPS concepts logic. So make sure C++ or Java is one of the best languages. Any one of this is okay for you, no problem at all. But make sure you refrain from learning Python for DSA right now. See, if you get into the industry, then you can go on and change that. Okay, but right now, make sure you are not learning that like that. Fine. That is why I am saying this and I am stressing this. Any one out of these two can be taken. And there is a lot of debate why C++ or why Java. I will tell you one thing. You can learn the whole thing in C++ or you can learn the whole thing in Java. No issue at all. But it depends on one thing. How good are you in pointers? If you were very good in dynamic memory allocation using pointers, you can do it in C++. Otherwise, if you feel confused about using malloc, calloc, realloc, free, and in case of C++, if you feel not feeling confident using new and delete, then you can use the Java language to learn DSA. That is what I will suggest. But rest of that, see, malloc, calloc, realloc and free are there in what? C language, and in C++ it is easily done using new and delete keywords. But in Java, everything is handled by whom? The Java virtual machine. The garbage collection is handled by the Java virtual machine. So you need not bother about that. Okay, you just have to remember this particular keyword, the new keyword. Okay, and it will be enough to learn about data structures and algorithms. And one more thing, there are no pointers in Java. That is also a positive thing, which will help you to learn DSA even easier. Fine. So I hope now I have cleared all the doubts regarding which language to choose. It totally depends on you, but my stress is take either one of C++ or Java. Okay. And if you want to be strong in C++, make sure you start with C, then you switch on to C++. Don't directly start with C++. At least learn C, then you should go to C++. But one more thing here, if you are actually studying engineering, you never know which interviewer can ask you what type of question. So at least all the basic concepts like looping, conditionals, functions, in case of Java methods, all the basic concepts you cover in all the 4 languages. It is one extra benefit that you have while creating face-to-face interviews in the technical round, because the interviewer can ask you something like this: what are the things needed, or what are the basic differences between the 4 languages? You would never know, someone can ask you that. At least at that time you should be confident enough to tell that in the interviews. Fine, that is what I want to tell you now. Fine, now let us do one thing, because we have understood that, we will do one thing, we will go to the roadmap, like what to study, how to study. The first thing that comes to your mind. See, after only, please remember, the basics of that language should be clear. Basics plus oops plus exceptions. After completing this, then only you should start with DSA, not before that. Even if it takes you 1 week, 10 days, 1 month, doesn't matter. Finish off this basic concepts, then come to this. Otherwise, you will not understand anything. Trust me on this. Fine. So, what I am saying is, the first one, the first day, you can start with arrays. Okay. And today we will be doing some basic applications of arrays, and we will see how to initialize arrays. After that, gradually, day by day, we will be going on to the advanced concepts. Fine. Arrays, here we have 1D array, you have 2D array, you have multi-dimensional arrays, and then what? You have a very important concept in DSA called the jagged array. This is very important, guys. Fine. So, these are the things that you need to cover in arrays. After that, you have lots of interview questions in arrays. There can be many different kinds of interview questions. Find the only non-repeating element in the array. Find the total number of occurrences of a particular number in a particular given array. So, for that, what you have to do is, you have to learn algorithms. Okay. In algorithms, you will be learning two algorithms, two types of algorithms, to be frank. Searching, then you have sorting. Fine. In searching, you will learn linear search, you will learn what? Tell me anyone? Binary search, and then you will learn one thing. The same binary search can be done using recursive binary search. Okay. So, linear, binary, recursive binary search. These are all the searching algorithms, and there are 2-3 more. Okay, if you want, you can learn them. There is something called jump search. There is something called interpolation search. Okay, linear search, binary search, recursive binary search, jump search, interpolation search. I am telling all these things because these have been very frequently asked in the placement types. That's why. Okay, don't think that I am just copying something from anywhere and telling it. Okay, I am telling this because these are the searching algorithms that will be asked to you in the placement types, and out of that, binary search is very important for your placements, because 80 to 90% of your DSA questions can be solved using binary search. Okay, so make sure you understand and learn binary search in a very good way. And don't worry, I will be teaching you binary search and most of its applications in our live classes also. Fine. And guys, in the meantime, if you have any doubts regarding anything that I am talking about in the class, or maybe something is very silly, you might feel that, okay, I did not understand that, but may I ask that doubt? May I do a comment? Everyone is watching me. Forget about all those things. If you think a doubt is a doubt, a doubt is a doubt. It's very simple. Okay, if I find anything that is not understood by me, I will ask that without any hesitation in my mind, because it's about my understanding, right? It is me who is going to go for the interview tomorrow. It's not anyone else that is looking at me. Okay, so make sure any silly doubt that you come up, please ask me then and there itself in the comment section, or maybe afterwards also while you were using the recorded version of the video later. Fine. So these are the searching algos that you will learn. searching for an element, searching for occurrences, searching for something. All these things will cover, guys, don't worry about that. After that comes the sorting algos. Sorting algos, there are so many, guys, so many. I will give you a list of some of them, don't worry. The first one that we always learn is what? Bubble sort. The second one that we learn is selection sort. The third one that you learn is insertion sort. The fourth one that we learn is what? Can you tell me? Merge sort. Then the fifth one that we learn is, sorry, not this, let me erase this. The fifth one that we learn is quick sort. Okay, all these are the sorting algorithms that we learn. Anything else that we learn? There is one more, cell sort. Anything else? Guys, latest news. Nowadays, placement drives, you might be thinking that okay, if I learn this much, that is more than enough. No. In the placement drives, all these are, remember this, all these algorithms that I have written here, they are all comparison algos. They are comparison algos where we compare the adjacent elements. But there are very unique two non-comparison algos that are also popular in the market right now. Non-comparison algos. And sorting algos, obviously. The first one is count sort. Very important for your placements. People ask lots of questions on this. And the second one is, it is the brother of count sort. It is called radix sort. Okay. In these two are actually inspired from one more sorting algorithm called the bucket sort. Fine. So, these are the things that you should study if you are trying to learn all the sorting algorithms also. Fine. And after that, when you learn the heap data structure, you will get something called the heap sort. When you learn the heap data structure, you will learn about the heap sort algorithm also. It is nothing, it is just a simple function in the heap algo, or the when you write the heap implementation, at that time we have something called heapify. Heapify up, heapify down. In that, when you pass an array, it will be arranged in heapify order or the ascending order or descending order, however you want it to happen. Fine. That is the heap sort. Okay. These are all the sorting algorithms that you should learn to understand DSA completely, or to understand the sorting algorithms completely. Fine. Make sense? And the most important thing here, there are some other algos that are also needed. This is a bonus. Okay. Sorry, my bad. The spelling is KADN. It's Cadane algo. This is also an array algorithm only, Cadane algo. It is also called maximum subarray sum. Fine. With this, after learning all these algorithms, you should learn what? Very important, time complexity. How much time is being taken by all the algorithms to get executed. This is not the real time complexity, guys. It is a theoretical time complexity. That's why it is called the big O notation. Okay. At the end of the live class, I think by the end of this Friday, I will share you one PDF where you will have the time complexities of all the algorithms that are there in computer engineering. Fine. You just do one thing, keep that PDF with you. I will share you one PDF, as I said, where you will have all the time complexities of all the algos that are there, and also stick it to your study table, in front of your study table. Okay, study table, just stick it there, and every day just go through it one by one, so that you remember the time complexities and the worst, the best and the average scenarios. Also, as soon as you get the job, just remove this from your table. That says that you have secured a job. Isn't it good? The day, but you will need that, but by that time when you get a job, it will be stored in your mind completely. You don't have to again see that again. Okay. Suppose you are having an interview tomorrow, this thing is going to help you a lot. Okay. Fine. So you do that. Okay. Now the next question. After learning time complexities, then we should move on to the next part of the data structures. In the next part, what we will do is, we will learn about the types. In the types, we have the linear data structures, where you will be learning about stacks, queues and linked lists. Linked lists, we have 3 types. Tell me. Singly, doubly, circular. Okay, these are all the linear data structures. Even an array is a linear data structure. Okay, after that we will go on to something very important, without which we will not be able to understand the non-linear data structures. Okay, so what we will do, we will learn the collections framework. Okay, collections framework, all the things. These are built-in data structures in Java. In case of C++, the same thing is called STL, Standard Template Library. Okay, so in collections framework, you have array list, linked list, you have map, you have hash map, you have set, you have hash set, and so on, okay, etc., etc. All these built-in data structures we will learn, and this thing will actually help us to write code even in a shorter area. Okay, that means we will be able to write code within less number of lines, because we do not have to implement the data structures again. It will be pre-implemented, we just have to use them in our code. Okay, this will make it more efficient. Okay, it will save time, and time is what, time will decide whether you are getting a job or not getting a job, because you have to solve the questions within the given time. Fine, the competitive coding questions has to be solved within particular time. So this will be very important. Okay, next, after learning collections, then we will go on to the non-linear data structures. In the non-linear data structures, what will you cover? The first one that we always cover, trees. In trees, we learn about binary trees, then we learn about the traversal. Okay, the traversal. In the traversal, we learn in order, pre-order, post order. Fine, and we will solve some questions also, at least 1 or 2 questions, so that we can actually relate that whatever concept we have learned, are we able to solve questions or not. That is very important, right? We will do that. And after learning trees, we will go to the next one, which is binary search trees. Fine, we will learn about binary search trees. There are lots of other trees, guys. There are there is something called Fenwick tree, which is also called as binary index tree. We have AVL tree, we have splay tree, we have red black tree, and so and so. There are lots of trees concepts. We will be trying to cover as many as we can, okay, and some trees concepts will be related to the other one. See, as I am saying, AVL is related to the red black tree, even the splay tree is somehow related to the red black tree, and also all of them are related to the binary search tree. So, if you understand one concept, it will be very easy to understand the next one. Just some alterations will be there, fine. And then after learning all this, we will be obviously solving certain questions, because that is very important. And after doing that, what we will do is we will go on to learn about in the non-linear data structures. Guys, most of the what to say, content creators I have seen, they do not teach this data structure. Try. It is similar to a tree, but I do not know why many of the people or many of the colleges also, they I have seen this in many colleges, people do not even know what is try. Okay. Try is a very important data structure. Okay. It is a non-linear data structure, and here it is used to implement our telephone, you can say, or you can say dictionary also sometimes. Okay. This is done, the try data structure. We will see how to implement that, and we will, if possible, try to solve some questions also. Fine. That done, then we will be moving on to a very important concept called the priority queue. It should be learnt here after all this, because after the priority queue you will be learning about heaps. Okay. In heaps we have the max heap and the min heap. Okay. They are actually implemented by using the priority queue only. Okay. That is why this sequence should be maintained, so that it becomes really easy for you to understand everything. First we will be implementing this using an array, and then we will be using a priority queue to do the same thing. Make sense? Okay. You will not be understanding, no need to understand anything here, just try to focus on what is the roadmap actually, what are we going to study. Okay. After that we can do all of them. Next, after learning this, you should learn one of the easiest, actually one of the easiest, many people think it is very difficult to understand, but I feel graphs is actually one of the easiest concepts in DSA. Okay. In graphs, what you learn? You learn the intro, what are graphs, after that you learn the representation using adjacency list, representation using adjacency matrix. Okay. You learn this, after that you learn how to implement, and after that what do you learn? You learn traversals, you learn all the traversals, you learn pre-order, you learn post-order, that you learn. Most of the times we do not learn in order in graphs, we do not learn that. In order is specific for trees only, we do not generally learn that, but pre and post can be learnt in graphs, no issue at all. And we learn one more type of traversal, the BFS traversal, the breadth first first. This is done for trees also, guys. In the trees concepts also we learn that. Okay. The BFS traversal and the DFS traversal. BFS stands for breadth first search, DFS stands for depth first search. We learn that also. And one more thing, after learning all these concepts, then we go into the algorithms or the applications of graphs, where you learn lots of different concepts. Okay. After learning this, you learn very important thing, that is called cycle detection. Cycle detection using BFS, using DFS in graphs. Okay. How to detect a cycle, that you learn. After that you learn all the algos of graphs. There are lots of algos. Say you are talking about the Dijkstra's, okay, you are talking about Prim's, you are talking about Kruskals, okay, and say there are lots of more others, okay, and Prim's is actually used for the MST, minimum spanning tree, and then you have Bellman-Ford, you have Floyd-Warshall. Okay, you learn all these things. Then there is something called linear ordering, or that is also called the topo sort, the topological sorting algorithm. Okay, then you have some other algorithms, like you can say you have a very important concept called the disjoint set. You learn that, fine. After learning that, there are some other algorithms which you also learn. Okay, so there are so many things to learn here. Okay, we will be trying to cover as many as we can. And sir, how to remember all sorting algorithms? Learning says how to remember. Okay, sorry, I was too much focused in actually explaining this thing. So you are asking how to remember all sorting algorithms. Very easy, one word answer for you: learning. Practice. Practice with your heart given to the question. It's very simple, not so difficult, and I promise you, I will try to make understanding the code so easy that you will only tell me that, sir, now I really remember the algos once and for all, and I will not forget them. Okay, trust me on this. Okay, we will try to learn everything in such a simple manner that everything will become easy for you to understand. Fine, that should be our agenda and our target. Okay, and so this was the idea, disjoint sets. Okay, and then we had topological sort, and there are lots of other algorithms also that we actually learn in graphs, and also at the same time some questions, so that we can see that whatever we are learning, is it fruitful? Are you able to solve some questions? Just a moment guys, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, we are back. Okay. Fine. Yeah, actually my leg touched the wire and it got disconnected. Sorry for that. So what I was saying is, yes, about the algos, and there are lots of other things that you have to learn. So we will be covering all of them one by one. Don't worry about that. After that, what we will do is, second. Just a moment. Let me just check one thing. Okay. And now it is fine. So let me just check. Yeah, now it's okay. Fine. Actually, I told you, right? The cable touched my leg, and so it happened like that. So after this, as I said, we will be going on to the next part, where we will be learning about dynamic programming. Okay, and obviously to learn this, you should be very strong in recursion. This is very important. You should be very strong in recursion. And after that, gradually we learn about memoization. Then we will learn about tabulation, and after that, if possible, if we can optimize the space, we will be doing that. Optimization. Okay, so this, and we will be solving some important questions like the longest common substring or subsequence. We will be solving, say, house robbery, and say fractional knapsack. or the 0-1 knapsack. Okay, we'll solving lots of questions, and after that, after learning DP or dynamic programming, then we can move on to greedy algos. Okay, in the greedy algorithms, we will learn some popular questions. Policemen and thieves, we will learn minimum cost of ropes, and so and so. There are lots of questions. Okay, after that, the bonus, we will learn about bit masking. Okay, so this should be your roadmap, guys. Here lots of questions are there in bit masking also, where you should know about bitwise operators. Fine, you should know about bitwise operators. So that is the agenda actually from the beginning till here. See, this is the actual agenda that I am planning, where from the beginning till here we will be learning about all this concept. Okay, from here till the end. Okay, I will try to make life simple for you, so that whatever you are learning today, you don't forget in your life, and you are actually able to implement them to write better code and also to solve interview questions. That is our target, right? We should be doing that, and trust me on this, if we support each other and go hand in hand. And just a moment, guys, the internet connection, yeah. We will be learning one by one every concept, and I promise not to let you down, and at the same time you will be learning a lot of things. But I need some motivation, guys. If you are really watching the video, make sure that you type a comment like watching, watched, understood, or thank you for the video, and give me a comment so that we guys get motivated to bring the content the next day. Because obviously, as a trainer, as a teacher, I feel motivated when the student is actually eager to learn from me. Okay, otherwise it will be like I am talking to myself. I am in front of the camera and just talking to myself. That should not be the case. Okay, I need some part of questions, and also at the same time I need a response from you guys, so that it is also interesting for us to bring lots of content for you. Okay, so this was the roadmap. And resources, I will be giving you lots of resources one by one, and all the code that we write in the class will be shared to you GitHub at the end of each week. Okay, not every day, each week. And I want all of you to practice along. Okay, that will be a very good way to understand. Okay, fine. You can split the screen into two, keep my lecture in one part, open the editor, write down the code in the other part. That is how you learn. Okay, if you do that, I trust me on this, every day you will be learning something new. That is my criteria and my target. Even while we were studying like that. Okay, fine. So the next thing that I want to say is about what? I will not take much time. I will give you a brief introduction of arrays today, and then we will be going on to the next part. Fine. So here is my individual project that I created for you guys for DSA. Here in the source folder, what I will do, I will create a new package called Coders Arcade, and let me give a, what to say, let me make that A capital and C also capital. Fine. This is the package. Here I will create a new package inside that. Dot, I will say arrays. Fine. Inside arrays, let me create a new Java class called basic array. Fine. And okay, so we will be just looking at some ideas so that we can understand how actually we can use arrays. Okay, the types already I have told you. An array is what, guys? If you are coming to this DSA class, I believe that you have already watched my previous videos and you know certain extent of Java basics. Otherwise, you have to go back, go to my live sessions on Saturdays that we have. The recorded sessions are already uploaded in the playlist, learn everything, then come back here, it will be easy. Otherwise, you will not be able to follow up. Okay. So, basic arrays. The types of arrays, what I will do, let me just create one more file here, say notes.txt. The extension is important, so I am writing like this. Here I will just say arrays, and the types I am writing down. Okay, the type one is one dimensional array, my bad. Okay, one dimensional. Then we have, you can write down two dimensional. After that we can have multi-dimensional. Okay, and as I said, the important one was jagged array. Okay, so this is very important, guys. So I am writing 3 stars so that you can remember that also, because let me see if there is any comment. No, there is no comment right now. So just remember, an array can be divided into 1D, 2D, multi-D or jagged array. Okay, that is how you represent. And 2D can also be called, obviously you know that, right, matrix. You can call it a matrix. Fine. So array is what? I'll write collection of homogeneous data. So this is collection, C L capital, collection of homogeneous data. That means what? Same data type. Guys, we are learning Java. So if I declare an integer array, it will only have integers. Similarly, if I declare a, what to say, float array, it can only have float values. Okay, that is why it is called homogeneous data. But if anyone is from Python background, they will say that, sir, in my list data type, I can have multiple kind of data, int, char, boolean, float, doesn't matter. Yes, but in case of Java, C or C++, one second guys, the camera is just a moment, the battery will be changed, so just be there and I'll just okay, yeah, I am live back in. What I said, in case of Java or C, we are actually storing homogeneous data, that is same kind of data in the arrays. It is a collection of homogeneous data. It can be integers, it can be boolean, it can be what, float, it can be string, it can be character, anything. So let's talk of examples so that you can understand how to do it. Okay, and the syntax obviously you all know. So I am writing the main method here. Let me see how to declare. Let me give the syntax first. Okay, I am declaring a 1D array. The syntax, guys, if you are from IT background, CS, IS or AIML, AIDS, there are lots of different branches that have come up, right? AIML, AIDS. At our time, we had only ISE, CSE, EC, EEE, Civil, Mechanical. Now there are hundreds of branches. I don't even remember the names of the branches. Doesn't matter. If you are from IT, then you should know the syntax also. So I am writing the syntax. Data type, a bracket will come here. After that, the name of the array is equal to new keyword. You can use the new keyword, your choice. If you don't want, if you want to initialize dynamically, then you can write like this. Then I am saying again the data type, the particular data type here. Okay, and then in the bracket you should declare the size of the array. This is the proper syntax of creating a 1D array. Data type, the square brackets, array name equal to new data type of array size. So if I take an example, I will say int ARR, or let me be specific like this, I will give the bracket and say numbers is equal to new int of See, in the bracket you have to declare the size. The size you can take from the user also, or else if you want you can directly write the normal value, say suppose 5, okay, like this, and followed by the semicolon. This is the syntax. And after that, if you want to initialize a particular value, how you can do? You can say numbers of, and please remember the indexes in an array start from 0 to n minus 1, right. So, if the size is 5, it will go from 0 to 4. I am just considering that you all know these concepts and you do not ask me this in the comments at least, but still if you are not knowing this, guys, you can ask me freely, do not worry about that. I will say numbers of, the first element will be at index 0, right. So, if I am taking an array ARR of, so this syntax is not there. I am used to writing multiple languages, so my syntax goes wayward sometimes. I sometimes write like this. So, it is actually like this in Java, equal to, say if I am writing 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So, this will be given index 0, this will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 3 and this will be 4, fine. So, the length is 5, so the indexes will be 0 to 4, very simple. And so, here I will write something like this. Numbers of index 0 I will assign equal to say 10, just for example, okay. And if you want to print that S out, you can say numbers of 0. This is O, so it will be 0 like this, okay. Let us see the output. It should give you the output as 10, the value that we have assigned. See, we are getting 10 as the output, okay. I am giving you a simple idea of how to actually deal with arrays, okay. This is a simple 1D array. Now, let us talk about a 2D array, how to initialize them, okay. So, again the syntax, that is very important. 2D array is something like this, right, a matrix, okay, int bracket bracket mat or matrix equal to, now comes the question, how do you initialize that? You can take new int of, give the bracket, and this is actually for the rows and this is for the columns. So, how many rows you want, you can write it down here. If it is n cross n, that means it is a square matrix, then you can write both the values same. Otherwise, if you are wanting a different thing, you can write suppose 3 cross 4 matrix like this, something like this, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 3 cross 4 matrix. It depends on you how you want to write down, okay. Based on that, you can write like this. So, here in this case, it will be something like this. 2D array. So, syntax, I will just write, copy the same thing from here, and then what I will do, I will paste it here, and let me just drag it a little bit up so that you can also see that. Here I will write array name, new data type of, you will have 2 brackets and bracket, and you can write down the row value and the column value, okay. And it depends on the particular data type again. So, that is how you write, okay. Hamud Yusuf says has given a smile, thank you for that, okay. And guys, as I told, any doubts please feel free to give in the comments, and also if you are really learning something new, please say that you are learning something new and understanding the concepts. That also motivates us, and if you are feeling that something is not okay, you can tell me that also, so that we can try to change that in the upcoming session, fine. So, now as I said, let me just create a new one. So, int 2 brackets for a matrix, I will say matrix is equal to new int of say 3 cross 4, you can have n cross n also, does not matter. So, this is how you do it. And now, here you see this, let me draw the diagram properly for you, or let me use this one only with a little bit of changes. I will delete this to make it proper, okay, and I will complete this. This is 3 cross 4, right, and you know already 0, 1, 2, 3, this is 0, 1, 2, right. So, this value here, this box is 0, 0. Let me just give a value for this, I am just showing you how to randomly assign values here. Okay. So, just go back and I will say matrix of 0 0 is equal to, say suppose you want to write a value of 1 like this, and if you want to S out matrix of 0 and 0, you will get the output like this. Say here the output is 1, so it should print it like that, correct? See 10 and the first value. But now the point is, what if I say I want to print the next value? I have not assigned anything here, right? 0, 1. Let us see what we get. Okay, it is interesting. I have not assigned this value. So, see the value now. By default, it is getting 0. Why? The data type of that particular matrix. If you are not assigning a particular value, it will take the default value at that particular data type. Integer default value is 0, so it is taking that. String will be null. If you were taking something else, it will be different. Okay. So, make sure you understand that. Say let us try writing a string like that. I will say string like this, and here also I will say string. Okay. Now, it is a string array, and let me just remove this 2. Okay. Now, I have a string array, and what I will do, I will say matrix of 0, 0 equal to, say, coder circuit. This is the string. So, if I print 0, 0, that is absolutely fine. It will print the first element, that is coder circuit. Make sense? But what if I do not have this and I am printing 0, 1, the next one? It should print null, because by default string data type is null data type. Just see here. See, as I told you, any data type array that you declare, if you do not write down the proper value, it will be initialized to is what value? The default value. The default value of string is null. Make sense? So, that is how it works. Okay. So, hope you are learning something and you are understanding all the concepts. This is how you initialize, and there are so many other types. So, let me just check the time. Yeah, it is already 8, because I am not looking at the time because I am getting bored of explaining, okay, not like that. I also have one more session after this, which is offline, and students are waiting. So, I think we will be winding up today's session here itself, and just tell me what you have learned till now, and is it something very good that you are learning and you want some changes in the way of learning, or is there anything that you want extra? Please tell me. But try to see this for 1 week, try to understand what you are going through, and try to understand the concepts gradually, slow by slow, and trust me on this guys, slow and steady wins the race. So, we will take it slow, we will try to learn the concepts one by one, then we will go to the advanced concepts. Okay. Tomorrow also we will be continuing with some array concepts, and then we will be going to very important thing, searching and sorting algos. Okay. Do not miss the sessions. Tomorrow tentatively from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. any time between that I will come live. Okay. Make sure you guys are available and you are attending the sessions live. Okay. And one more thing guys, let me just check the camera and verify whether everything is fine or not. Okay. So, we will do one thing, if we have some time, as I tell you always, I will tell you that we will just give a recap. We will just do a recap of what we have done. We have understood the roadmap of DSA, and we have understood which language we should learn, and after that we have seen some basic idea of how to initialize arrays, 1D and 2D arrays. In tomorrow's class what we will do, we will continue with the same code and we will learn about multi-dimensional arrays, and then we will be learning about jagged arrays. Also after that we will be starting with searching and sorting algorithms. Tomorrow I do not think I will be able to cover everything obviously. So, stay tuned with us every day, at least 45 minutes to 1 hour. I am planning to come live, okay, Monday to Friday, and Saturday whatever content we have not covered in our basic Java classes, anything if I feel important, I will be coming live on Saturday and completing those things. Okay. So, till tomorrow I thank you all for coming live in the session, and Hope you all are doing good and hope you all have a nice sleep if you are from India, okay. And anywhere, anyone who is watching this live video, please make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell icon, because that will help you to get notified about the latest updates in our channel, okay. So till tomorrow's video, this is Saurabh signing off with a smile on my face, because the response from the students is good and I am happy to have you guys here, okay. Thank you and bye bye and happy learning, okay. Commit yourself to